Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Ariel. I'm going to talk more about my whys because I didn't really talk about it in my last video. I did a little bit, but I didn't really touch on it the way I'd like to. I really just covered the rules, and so I'd like to touch on my whys a little more. You may be noticing I'm without my glasses. I'm not wearing contacts. I'm just blind right now. I'm filming at night for the first time because I just didn't have time to film today. And the glare on my glasses is just awful. It's just terrible. So, hopefully I look just as gorgeous without my glasses. I think so. So that's all that really matters. Let's talk about, first off, 50% of people give up their goals by now. It was actually a couple of days ago that they would have given up their goals by. Like, that's insane. I know goals can be really hard and they can be really difficult to do, but you guys, we can do some big things in our life. We can do some big things if we set our minds to it. So if you are doing a no spend this year and you're looking to me for some inspiration and you have already fallen off the wagon, just get back on. Just stop spending money again. I know it's more difficult than that, but it's also that easy to just start all over again. Don't pick a day in the future that you're going to start not spending money again. Just pick today. Today you're just going to stop. You're not going to make any purchases. You're going to follow your personal rules for your no spend, and you're going to just continue along your merry little way. And every time you fall off the bandwagon, you're just going to get back on. Because that is how goals are achieved. You don't just give up the first time. You get back on and you continue. And I'll actually be touching more on that later in the video because, spoiler alert, I failed. I failed my no spend. I made a purchase, you guys. So that's okay. Just readjust, recommit. You can do this. You can take a step back and ask yourself why you failed in the first place. What are you buying? What are you purchasing that is killing your budget? And why are you buying it? That's a big one. Just why are you buying it? What are you buying and why are you buying it? So I'm going to answer that question today for my fail, and you may get a little glimpse into my life. It can be hard. It can be really hard. So just get back up on that horse. Just recommit. You can do this. You can keep not spending money. It's an achievable goal that you can do every day. You can not go to stores. You can not go places. You can avoid temptations. And if the problem is when you go to the store, then just avoid that at all costs. And if the problem is purchases online, then remove the obstacles that are getting in your way. Take your information out of the phone so that you can't just make a purchase right then and there. You have to go get your card, and that's an extra step that you're adding in there. So just ask yourself, why are you doing these things? You can readjust and you can do this. We both can. We all can do this. Even if you're not wanting to do a full year of no spend, even if your goal is just a week or 2 weeks, or your goal is 6 months, or your goal is a month, like, you can do this. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. And when you fall off the bandwagon, you just recommit because that's the best way to continue this. So why I'm doing this, the big one is I want to get more intentional about my stuff. I have this really big problem of just buying, impulse buys, buying stuff that I don't really need, buying stuff that I could really do without, buying stuff. I see it, I bought it, I want it. Or is it I see it, I want it, I bought it. I did that backwards. Either way, I did both. I did both of those. I saw it, I bought it, I wanted it, I saw it, I bought it. All of them. I did everything. I bought them and it was terrible, and my impulse buys are out of control. Were out of control. They are no longer out of control. Well, they probably would be if I got off my no spend right now, but I am taking care of that problem this year with my no spend. So I want to love my stuff more. I want to care about each item I have in my closet, in my kitchen, in my bathroom. I want everything to bring me joy, Marie Kondo style, but also just to be surrounded by joyful things. And a part of that is I'm tired of being surrounded by clutter. No matter how many times I decluttered my house, there was more clutter, there was more stuff, there was more. Stuff was constantly coming in my house. Well, I am tired of that. I'm tired of feeling anxious because my house is constantly filled with stuff. And I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to feel like one day I'm going to be a hoarder because the amount of stuff in my house is already overwhelming. I want to be surrounded by a cleared space where everything has a place and everything is where it belongs. And I love where they belong and I love what's there. I want to be intentional about all of that. Part of what I'm doing is a little bit minimalistic, not 100%. I don't feel like I can really live a full minimalist lifestyle, not while being zero waste, but I can be surrounded by less stuff and less clutter. And I can do it in an eco-friendly way by giving it away on Facebook, by donating it to shops, by selling it secondhand, by giving it to consigneries, by recycling it. I did not throw away much in my. I did throw away some, probably a grocery sized bag of trash, but in my full declutter, I did not throw away much. So you can do this in an eco friendly way. I touched a little bit about my shopping problem, but I want to talk more about that because I feel like that is a problem in this day and age, is shopping problems. We are addicted to shopping. How many of your kids think going to Target is like an outing? They think it's an adventure because that's the norm. How many of them think that it's, going to Ross or Walmart and just going around shopping is normal? Probably all of them. My teenager does. My 12-year-old does. She's not quite a teenager. My 2-year-old, on the other hand, doesn't know this, and I'd really like to create a society where she doesn't ever have to learn this. And since I'm part of society, I'm going to create that in my house. And hopefully, she will also take that into her generation. So, creating a cycle of zero waste, low waste, and intentional living. And I really feel like that's very important, is showing my kids that there's more to life than shopping. There's more to life than spending money. I don't need to spend money to be happy. I really, really don't. I don't want to spend money to be happy. I don't want to spend money every time I have a success in my life and that's how I'm going to celebrate. I don't want to spend money every time I'm mad and miserable and that's how I feel better. I don't want to spend money every time I go to the store and I see something I like. And it doesn't bring me much joy, but for a moment it brings me a minute of happiness. And so I bring it into my home, and then later it's just clutter that brings me anxiety and depression. And I just don't want that anymore in my life. I don't want to be surrounded by those things. And shopping is why I am surrounded by those things, because I am the problem. I am bringing them into my own house. And when there's an emotional backing behind your shopping problem, it's much harder to quit shopping. However, it is possible. For one, I would say seek a counselor. I see a counselor. I want to speak on this in a later video, but I do see a counselor once a week. I recommend this for everybody. I think counselors are really amazing, and the right counselor can really truly change your life. The right counselor has changed mine. And if you have a shopping problem that's emotional, look into counseling. Get some help from an outside source. Get some therapy that can help you through the hard times. It's possible to do this. It is, and all you have to do is ask for a little bit of help. I talked about this a little bit to prove I can. Like I said, someone laughed at me, and I just want to prove that I can. I think I can do it. The eco factor. I want to use less resources. I want to use less resources that hinder other people's lifestyles too. The things we don't think about is the $10 shirt is actually being made by someone at a slave wage, and I really don't want my purchase to affect someone so poorly. There have been instances of clothes with the word help sewn into it because people are being treated so poorly in these rural countries, these third world countries that are affected so deeply by they are slave wages. And I really don't want that on my conscience. I don't want to be part of that problem. And so personally, I'd like to stop shopping and buying my clothes at places that support that practice. So I am going to try very hard to stop buying things in general because they are often created by slave wages. These are the big ones. Save money and pay off debt. How many of us just want to save money and pay off debt? I can just tell you right now, just saving money, the amount of money I have saved by not buying random stuff. I probably would have saved a little more if I had been a little more conscious about my groceries. But I am doing really, really good on what I'm buying and how well I'm doing. And every time I see my bank account save a little more, I am really, really just inspired to keep going and to not spend money even more. And so I am going to pay off my debt, or a lot of my debt, this year. And I'm really excited about that. And probably next year I'll pay off even more debt, if not all of it. And I will be a happier person because I will have saved a ton of money and I will have paid off a ton of money. So that's it for my whys. That's all I have time for this week. I was going to update you guys, but I feel like let's do that next week at the end of January. I feel like that's just a more appropriate time to really update you guys. I will tell you my one fail so far because it is probably not going to last until next week when I can show you. But those flowers right there, these flowers, they were on clearance. They were going to get thrown in the garbage if someone did not buy them. And so I bought them. They were at the grocery store, so technically still not quite breaking my rule, but it's out of the spirit of my rule. That's not a food item, you guys. That's obviously not something I can eat. I am going to try and make some rose water out of it, so it won't be a complete epic fail. if I manage to make some rose water out of it, then I think I can feel less guilty about it, because then it'll be a low waste craft versus just a petty bouquet of flowers. And I can feel fine with the low waste craft. Those are 100% allowed in my no buy year, because I am a low waste craft person. So, yeah, no, tell me what you think. Did I fail? Did I not fail? Let's leave it if I make rose water out of it. I didn't fail, and if I don't make rose water out of it, then I did fail. What do you guys think? What Tell me, did I fail? All right. Well, I will talk to you on Sunday for our next weekly challenge. I'm really excited about getting some videos out here. The bulk buy video went over really well, and I'd really like to see some more of these videos go over very well. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button if you want to see these videos, more of me, perhaps. And don't forget to join my Facebook group, Journey to Low Waste and Sustainability. I will link it in the description. And it is also linked on my YouTube channel, so you can find it from there. And if you want to, follow me on Instagram at eco_Ariel. Unfortunately, Eco Ariel wasn't available. So I guess it's that time. Just remember to be kind to yourself. We'll talk to you guys next time.